And we are rolling, guys. Welcome to the Real Nonsense podcast. And we can see Priyam here already sitting with his big beard. And Rushan is already back. And I am your host, Avi. Well, I'm the co host. And yeah, we guys are back. We guys are back. And it's been 7 months. और 7 months में बहुत बकचोदी हो गई. Kangna has tweeted 10,000 times and she has compared herself with Meryl Streep. And Trump went, and a lot of things have happened. After that, there has been more garbage on Netflix, and yeah, that's what is going on. Guys, what are your scenes on vaccinations? What is your take, Priyam, Rushan? What are your takes on vaccinations going on, and what are the state of affairs in India and Slovakia? Please enlighten. हम भी सुनते हैं क्या चल रहा है.
Nice. So, यहाँ पे तो I think here it's the condition is still, I would say, pretty much the same like it was last year in 2020. Um, Lockdown चल रहा है अभी भी और people are still asked to stay indoors and get tested every week and show a positive or negative certificate if you're traveling outside or if you need to be outside.
Because in Dubai there are now three vaccines. I mean, you have the China one, you have the Pfizer, you have AstraZeneca. So it's now that the vaccines are out, people are saying, "Oh, don't take it," and there are this and that. So I'm just thinking, like, all we were fighting for last year was to get a vaccine, and ab jab hai now that it's there, we are not taking it. I mean, me included.
Now suddenly everyone is anti-vaxxers.
I think there is one in India. I think there is this Covishield.
Yeah, I think there are a few, right? In
I
My
think
India.
that
my parents, by the way, guys, my parents got a call today for vaccine. So tomorrow
Ah,
tomorrow they're gonna get vaccinated. My mom, dad, and my grandmother. So like the priority list is because they're all 50 plus, so they'll
okay,
get
okay.
vaccinated first. So
Do
that
they
is the
have a
Indian
choice
government
of
wala.
which one to take? No, there's no choice, huh?
No, it's I think COVAX, जो
It's the
Indian government
Covax,
वाला ही
Covax, yeah?
Covaxin.
जो मिल रहा है Serum Institute वाला. So I guess that's the one they're gonna get. But yeah, before we kicked off actually, I wanted to highlight a small fact to
Yes.
the viewers that since we last met, two big things have happened. Rushan over here has become a proud father to a little girl.
Yay!
And of course, our friend Mr. Avi has now got married.
Yay!
Yeah.
So, Avi,
Finally, Avi is
yeah,
officially,
Avi
Yes,
officially
on
married.
yes.
अभी
paper.
शादी के बाद कितना चप्पल पड़ा तेरे को?
अभी चप्पल यार मतलब चप्पल इज नाउ इट्स ऑल वर्चुअल चप्पल नाउ वो मतलब
Yeah, it's,
क्या बोलूं मैं it's all mental games now you have to play and you have to be you can't be good at
True.
it. I don't think you can ever be good at it, but you still have to play it and you have to let the other person win.
it's,
So
it's
yeah, I
like
mean,
saw but with like strawberries and roses and stuff.
yes. And I know a lot of things now about makeup. I know a lot of things about, I mean, makeup. I certainly I can vouch for myself that I've learned so much in such a short span of time. The amount of things now I know, I think
Yeah.
it's kind of an encyclopedia. I think it would be same for you guys also. I mean, that
I
is something.
think,
I have a fascination for bags now. I mean,
wow.
and yeah, there are things which, I mean, still my choices are as bad as it were before. I still suck at choices, and I don't think that's going to improve anytime soon. And yeah, otherwise 2021, I think I don't know, man. Like ऐसा कुछ बड़ा कुछ हो नहीं रहा है, and it's just that we know this is there. I mean, Dubai was going good for a while, then they fucked up a bit. It's kind of,
True, क्या हुआ? Why fucked up? Like in what sense?
fucked up as in cases increased, not much. Again, when we say increased, it's just a small number, but then people panicked, and then yeah, we are again there's a slight restriction again here, and I think things will be back soon. But
I think in the past in the past week or so, I think cases are again going up in India also and
Yeah.
in other parts. Here,
doesn't mean
we
there's
were
not
at the
that things
peak
are going
in the
down. Yeah.
after Christmas. Here we were at the peak, and like the situation was worst here, even worse than what it was initially last year during April, March. So now, I think vaccines are still pretty much, going on as Priya mentioned, priority wise. So I don't even know when I'm gonna get vaccinated. I don't feel like getting vaccinated because we were already sick. Okay, me and Denisa, we were both sick already during after Christmas, and we recovered. So I think we are already, we already been through that. So I think now,
No, again, I think it's a matter of choice, and unless the governments of the world make it like compulsory for everyone, I think you still have the choice. And the only thing which bothers me a bit, which I don't know, it's funny, and which bothers me a bit is, you know, it's not like you take the jab, you take the shots twice, and you after 2 3 months when the thing starts working, it's not like you're not gonna have COVID again, and it's not like you can take off the mask and you have a free card to all over the world. No, so it's not gonna happen like that. So it's what it is, and I'm kind of, I don't know. I mean, I don't know, having a vaccine, how much difference is it gonna make? Having a vaccine, is it gonna really, probably it is doing something, of course it is doing something. It is a vaccine, but I don't really know. I mean, you can't really say, and I'm not skeptical, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I think a lot of
And
people
for
have already
Dubai, I
taken
think,
vaccine. They've uploaded videos that, I'm in the second week of vaccination, still feel fine and all that. So
yeah, a lot of people have taken, yeah.
you cannot really
And
say what is good or what is bad. There's this one thing that also I think Indian government is doing. They are providing this COVID survival kit or something, where they are giving like a package with medicines and all that
That's
to the patient.
if you figure out that you have COVID,
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah, so some recovery kit or something, and they're also providing some kind of medicine which is in EU it's banned. That for obvious reasons, just EU being EU. But it seems like it might be working. I was listening to some discussions by some doctors, and they were just mentioning this. So I don't recall what that is. It starts from Z something, but it seems like it might be effective. Taking into consideration amount of the number of people there are in India, and the size
yeah.
of country, and the cases. So the ratio is really, I mean, they did really good job, I would say.
yeah, that is what most people forget, while talking about India. I think about the people, there are so many people over here, man. It is, I mean, you guys know, right? But if someone who's not been to India, it's overwhelming, right? It will overwhelm all your senses, everything. If you meet anyone who's been to India once or twice, the first thing they'll say is like, "Oh my God, it's so many people, it's so crowded everywhere." And with that handling, keeping all those people at home, people are not earning, and medicating them, taking care of them, and now even vaccinating them. It's a
But
really
Aisa,
big task.
Margo, what I personally feel is because, again, we come from a country who eat dal chawal and bhindi and
Yeah.
karela, that is what is actually saving the country. Like the Westerners could actually laugh on that, but yeah, having tablets of vitamins is actually not helping them. That is, I think, one biggest factor. You say, no, हम लोग गटर का भी पानी पी लेगा तो भी कुछ नहीं होगा. Actually, that is a fact. That is a fact, and that is something which you might, I don't know, like you might have tested, we don't know, we might have contracted COVID, we might have, got away with it, but these are few things which I think is what is making again the recovery of Indians pretty fast. And I don't know how much they're reporting. I mean, I'm sure the reporting is 10,000 times lesser, but that again doesn't take away the fact that yeah, they've done pretty well actually. They've done pretty, at least we are not topping the charts anymore. And that's pretty nice to hear from the country you belong. And yeah, and like, I mean, enough of jokes were made back in August and September, which, yeah, even I can say, even I was part of such jokes. But to be very honest, I think they've done well. They've done well, yeah. I mean, it's not like cases are blasting out of the internet. I think there are other parts of the world also. I mean, India, with a population like that, I'm actually happy with the way they have gone about, because it was a very unsure procedure which the government followed, because with a country like that where every centimeter accounts for like 10 people, I think that is something, that approach was very nice. And I hope, man, I mean, from the vaccine point of view, I hope the country does well. Anyways, guys, too much of vaccines. Being the moderator, I just want to switch off the topic to, before we start our today's main podcast, two more things I want to discuss. One is since the last time we had our podcast, since then there has been this Twitter outrage, and don't say Twitter outrage. There has been outrages over making fun by the comedians making fun and them going to jail. We're not going to name anything. We're not going to do anything. And then there is something called OTT laws which has come up now, and I hope you guys. I have seen the show called Tandav on Amazon, and I have. I mean, there have been new OTT laws.
I think it's still going to be announced, but there is a discussion going on.
There's a discussion. So, what do you guys? I just want to get a quick thought, not a detailed discussion, maybe for some other day, but quick thoughts around the need to have OTT in a country like India. And secondly, I want to know that, I mean, the need to control Twitter as well. That is one thing. Is there a need to control, or or do you think that you asked for it, you got it? Like, this is what it is. You asked for freedom, now play with it. Live with it. You can't say you don't have freedom, and then when
It's
people
like
come
fire,
and
yeah.
and then when people come and paint black all over your white window, and then you say, oh, why did you. So that is something which I just want to touch the topics and then move on to our next segment. Guys, start with the OTT, please. I'm very keen to hear what you guys think.
Uh, I think as far as what I read yesterday or day before, that it's not just OTT but also going to be the online news, I think. But OTT and online news would be the two new additions to these regulations that the government is trying to put in. Basically, they want Netflix and other platforms basically
Yeah,
to rate their content with the regular rating we have, like UA, U.
yeah.
Um,
But do
I
you
think Netflix already has their own rating though,
justified
13
because
plus, 16 plus,
but
whatever.
do you
But
think it's justified? Do you think, when I see a television show called, I actually happened to see the show called Tandav, and okay, I mean, the scene which they were talking about, it was so negligible that I didn't realize when I saw it. And I just, once it came out in the media, I had to go and check what was it actually. Okay, yeah, they didn't have to do it. What they did, they showed some things which were in bad light. But then again, at the end of the day, because it's an OTT, always a viewer has the choice of not watching it. How much so? How much? Yeah, I mean, I'm all for taking the responsibility and making all responsible content. I'm all for that. But then at the end of the day, because again, who are the people who are complaining? It's other than the political parties and other than all the groups. It's there are people who think it is offensive. Well, there are people who think even speeches of politicians are offensive, but they're not being banned. So that is something which, when you talk about freedom of expression, again, yeah, there are two sides to the coin. Yeah, freedom of expression doesn't mean you take the word right till there, and I mean you do whatever you want. But again, the reason why OTT was introduced was to present content where you don't need to be certified. I don't need to get a permission from a government to actually put my video out on YouTube, but now you have to. That's what it looks like. So, I mean, I think it is sad that
Yeah, I
way.
hope it doesn't come to that. Yeah.
I hope, I mean,
No,
when,
I think it will. I think there will be a time where if these regulations keep getting stronger, there might be a situation where, they would ask Netflix to censor some scenes, and then they will go through the censor board before it goes on Netflix. This or Netflix India. This might be something which it seems like, they're trying to take that same path with also the OTT platforms,
you know,
but
I personally believe if you
But
want to,
guys, our yeah. So what I want to draw you guys attention is towards the fact that see the way we are looking at it, we are only looking at one side of the cube, right? Now there's one particular side of the audience, not the creators, but one particular side of the audience that particularly irritates me, and that is bad parents. I mean, people who just give their cell phones and their devices to kids, and these, 9, 10, 11-year-old kids, they have the freedom to access anything.
yeah,
I mean, you have Netflix. In Netflix, you have a section for children, right? But it's very easy to, switch back to the non-children section as well. Well, it's
but
not
I
like
think again,
you have
because it's
everything
different
password protected.
times, I think again, because it's different
Yeah.
times, because it's different times, I think, yeah, that way, I
I
mean, we
mean,
have
Priyam, I get what you're trying to
progress for the
say,
worse,
but
yeah.
I don't think that, that's something that in this generation, in this time, people can control, or, I mean, you
Because
can,
in developed countries, you guys have those regulations to deal with shitty parents, right? In India, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that
very
is
hard to
something
make out
which
if someone is a
I
shitty
think,
parent or not.
I think in
but
India,
kids are learning now. Kids, small kids, they are learning designing, they're learning coding, and they're using
Yeah.
all these smart
yeah,
devices.
again,
So
yeah,
you
that is
cannot
something
really,
which I
you
want to
know.
probably discuss on a later chapter regarding coding. Like, I don't know if there is a need for a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old to actually go and learn coding or not,
No,
but
but I mean,
that is a different debate. That is a
not
different
not
debate.
everyone would, but I think there are kids who are doing that, and I think it's we can obviously discuss a lot.
But yeah, I mean, personally, my point of view is, I don't know about OTT. Like, if you what do you call it? If you censor it, but then again, it's so difficult to please everyone, and the amount of people who have a problem with something is always going to be less than the amount of people who don't have a problem with something. So I don't know if things go that way, then there is not much difference between cinemas and OTT again. So you are back on square one. You're back on square one, and I think I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see because yeah, that's it. I mean, there's
I
nothing
mean,
much to.
yeah,
So guys,
that this.
um, before I mean, yeah, before just okay, yeah, Rushan, complete. I actually wanted to say is what do you think about? I mean, I don't know if Priyam is on Twitter or not, but it's right now Twitter is a minefield, and by minefield, what I
Oh,
say
crazy.
is you write something and it explodes, and anybody can write anything. I'm not talking about fake accounts or trolls, but anybody can write anything and anybody feels bad, and there are lawsuits filed over Twitter tweets. I mean, President Trump, ex-President Donald Trump was actually removed from Twitter, and there have been many instances we have seen where the tweets have been deleted. And I mean, would like to know what is the extent to which a person can actually freedom of expression. Again, I'm all in for it, but what is the extent to which you can express your opinion on social media, on Twitter, and do
I
you
think
think
again, again it all boils down to
do you think this discussion is unnecessary, or like,
no, no,
yeah,
no. I think it's a necessary discussion because at the end of the day, freedom of speech is a very very simple yet very deep topic, and people need to understand it. I'm no expert. I'm just giving my
of course,
opinion,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
obviously. But when you say something, when you express yourself in certain way, and you are already inviting a repercussion. You're already inviting an impact to what you're saying, right? So if certain comedian put certain remark, and if there was some impact to it, obviously he should not have been jailed, which I would
Yeah.
say was too much, which was a little abuse of power. But also, you as a person should understand. Now, I'm not going to talk about the facts, if what he said, what he didn't say, what was right, what was wrong. We don't have a
It's a
proof.
joke. It's a joke at the end of the day.
we,
I
we
mean,
don't
if
have a proof, but I
you
mean,
could say cause
because
for joke,
there are some laws, and
but yeah, I mean,
I
how
think
much can you joke? Should there be a
inciting
law?
religious, this thing was the probably
Yeah, I
what
mean,
the crime, or what he was arrested for. People in the audience didn't feel that, but again, you're on a social platform, and
Yeah.
there might be counter arguments, like, what about other people? What if I joke on cats and cats offend you? Well, these are all things that you
yeah,
can continuously debate about. But
But
when you
guys,
bring
just
in religion,
yeah,
understanding the nature of the country like India, understanding the religious tensions,
yeah,
understanding what has been through in the past, I think there are certain topics that you should just be a little careful about.
yeah, I agree.
And
Yeah,
you
yeah,
cannot
yeah.
just be like, oh, this is my freedom of expression. But just saying,
Correct. Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah.
saying.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
yeah, and more than that, guys, I mean, I take these things at a very philosophical level personally also. Okay, whatever, like, no, it doesn't matter what someone is saying. As long as I cannot put it to use to improve myself. Why should I even care about it? Like, why should it matter to me? Like, for instance, one of you guys, if you swear at me, मेरे को गाली दे दो तीन चार, how is it gonna impact me? But if you say कि oh Priyam, तेरा दाढ़ी अच्छा लग रहा है and you should shave it off, I might take it into consideration. I might just shave it off, to see if I look good. So it's at philosophical level, that is how it should work. Sadly, it doesn't work that way for society. And there is another argument that I think Avi you just said, that is a joke. At the end of the day, it's
Yeah.
all a joke, right? But there is a moral question over here
For everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
but there is a moral question I'd like to pose to you guys that I don't know if you guys have been, towards the receiving end of bullying at any time in your life, but isn't bullying also a kind of a joke for someone?
That is
So
something which I
so
agree. I mean,
where does it stop being funny? I mean, where does it stop being funny? That is where we have
this is
to
something
talk
which
about.
even I personally, I don't want to, yeah, name and shame anyone, but I think bullying, I think this thing should actually be controlled even from when you are an infant, from probably school stage, because it fucks your mind. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, like we have all studied in the same school, and I mean, yeah, there have been instances, and there have. I mean, I have personally come across people over time. Even I'm saying school as well, yeah, and not naming anyone, but yeah, there have been people who actually the behavior of whom, I mean, they could have controlled it, which could have resulted into a pleasant experience. But Yeah, this is something I completely agree. Bullying is also a kind of a joke, and this is something which it just doesn't come, a guy doesn't become a bully suddenly. He or she becomes a bully over time. And I think this is something where teaching comes into place. And I personally feel that, if you are not controlled in your infancy, like when you're growing up, you're a lost cause. I mean, when it comes to bullying, because either you have already done your worst, or you are in the process and you don't even know it. You think it's a joke for you, but yeah, I mean, we all are different kinds of people, and I don't know what you are thinking in your head and what I'm thinking in my head. I'm 30 now, but back then, if you caused me pain when I was 13, it stays somewhere back in the mind, and
Stays,
that
yeah, it stays with you.
there are
Yeah,
which.
and that's what tends to happen with these things, right? You go on with these things, you go on speaking your mind, or just triggering people through your life, and then your target becomes bigger and bigger. At first you start with the weak kid in the school, and then in college you are bullying your teacher or your lecturer, and as you grow up, it starts to become your government. And when when it becomes too much, you're at the short end of the stick, and then you start crying outraged कि अरे मेरे को ऐसा freedom of speech ले लिया. So what is the point of all this? Why would you say horrible things about? I mean, there are comedians who who make very good jokes without offending anyone.
Yes,
So
of course.
are they
Yes.
worthless or what? I mean,
Yes, yes, of
So
course. I mean,
basically, from what my understanding is, based on everything is happening and based on how, because we were in such a time where we grew up from Yahoo Messenger to Orkut to Facebook and Twitter, so
yeah,
we know that transition. First of all, obviously, social media is a very powerful medium. If you're saying a joke to a group of five, and if you're sharing it on social media, obviously it's going to amplify it to another 5,000 people. So you have to understand what that power is and what it can do. Okay, how big impact it can have. That's point one. Secondly, when you're trying to put some comments out there, when you're outrageous, you can go out there and do it on the street and keep shouting for 2 hours. Probably if someone is going to hit you, you're going to get into fight. But when you're in a car, when you close all the windows and you keep shouting, you have that security, which gives you kind of little more confidence, like, okay, it's a device, and I'm just going to talk. But then what you have to understand is that it's social media. You're just doing the same thing, but you're
yeah,
amplifying it, first of all. Secondly, you are you are inviting an impact on you. You're saying these things, you cannot get away. You have put out there, it's gonna stay there. People are not gonna forget because it's such a platform. You might shout to someone, people might just forget in 1 or 2 days, but when there's a video out there, the age of that content is like infinite, right? It's always going to be there. Obviously, the politics behind the algorithm and all that, I don't want to get into that. There's a lot of other theories about how these social media channels can control how the economy could work. But so yeah, so what I mean was, there is no line on what is funny or what is not funny. I think it's for
yeah,
someone like you to understand. And I was just watching one of the videos of comedians, and what he said was, I think, a good point. Like, every time when he makes a video, before he puts to social media, he always shows this to his group of friends, his family, to get the reaction and to see how they are reacting, and to see if everything is necessary to be uploaded, or if something needs to be if something is too much. So I think you need to do that, because if you're putting it out there, there's going to be a huge impact. Especially this guy from Baroda who was also arrested because he put some really lame comments on some
yeah,
comedian. Uh, and that comedian obviously, made some joke inciting some religious, I guess, offenses. So, it's just, you have to understand social
And
media.
that's something where
It's as
probably,
good, it's as bad. It's
you
like,
know,
it's risky.
I think in a way, sometimes that I agree because, somewhere a line has to be drawn. And yeah,
But
yeah,
it's very difficult, Brother, to draw a line,
But it's more of a
because
social
we live
responsibility
in such
rather than.
a society where people mindset,
hmm,
it's very, it's diverse. You cannot align everyone to one thing. So I mean, especially in India, where religion is, I heard, I read this forward I got on WhatsApp once, that India is a country where religion is politics, politics is cricket, and cricket is religion.
hmm,
So this is a place where religion is something that it's very sensitive. You
yeah,
cannot, it's like a room with a leakage of gas, and you just have, you have your lighters and cigarettes in your hand. You just, you don't want to smoke in there. You want to go
yeah,
out, and you want to just be careful.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And to
Anyways,
the
guys,
religious people, to the
yeah,
people who get offended also. I mean, it's just a I mean, I understand that people's sentiments get offended, but my personal thing is that all these religions, all the religions, they come from some really great philosophies, guys, right? They have, I mean, they are so big. They have reached so many people. At some point or the other, they have made so many people's lives better. So, I mean, these things are too big to be, belittled by these
yeah,
few people. So, I mean, why bicker over all this? It's just pointless. I mean,
yeah.
I
I
cannot
mean,
defend
that's
a
the thing.
religion, man. A religion is much bigger
Why
than me.
bicker over things when you have 10,000 other things to joke at? That is something which,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I agree to this. I agree to this. I mean, somewhere a line has to be drawn, but what could be the line again is a debate. And yeah, I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what's going on
It
in the
would be.
country.
I think that will be an endless debate if someone would have to decide to draw a
Yeah,
line, or to it will be endless. I remember back in the school days, we would crack funniest jokes, but we would do it in a group of 5 or 10, in garden, in park, in with
yeah.
friends. It's
Otherwise,
different
one
thing. But when
end
when,
up
when
So
with,
you're putting
insensitive,
same
dude.
jokes on social media, people will have a different opinions about you. So
and there is this, I don't know, there is this euphoria about social media. The moment you are sitting behind the laptop and you have a keyboard, you suddenly feel, or I don't know, you think you are
no,
entitled
no,
to
not just laptop and keyboard, also a car and a phone.
phone,
That's
and you think you are entitled to something great, and you suddenly become a different personality. Maybe you aren't a person like that, but it's just that you have something to type, and you go and spill out garbage after garbage, and you call
all.
it freedom. And yeah, I mean, again,
Also, one of the things I would like to mention, that people have such a great interest in drama, especially. People need to know what's going on in other people's life. People like
yeah,
when there is some drama, or something happening.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So sadly, these guys who keep cursing on the videos get so many views, and someone who is trying to do some educational video or something has only
yeah, I
few
mean,
thousand hundred views. So
yeah, completely agreed. I mean, the
we,
news
we,
anchor.
we all want what Priyam is surrounded with. We all want that fire
Yeah, yeah,
around
yeah.
us. We just want to ignite
That's what's
more and
happening
more.
these days. Shit's burning and I'm fine, yo.
Anyways, but we can move forward. So that was all
Yeah,
about
yeah, yeah,
freedom
guys.
of
I mean,
expression. I
we've
think
been.
there will always be a time. But yeah, I just guys would like to talk more, talk about one of these, apps that I joined recently, and I think I was sharing with
Yeah.
you guys also,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
the Clubhouse.
Yes.
I was amazed with the concept behind it. It's pretty much like Twitter, but it's more like, you can just,
It's like
you
a
can
live
remove the bad
podcast,
content. You
and
just have to. It's a discussion. It's a discussion.
and I
It's
could
similar to.
actually, I don't, even from Dubai, I don't know if they know it yet. Otherwise,
They
they'll
don't
ban it.
know. They don't know it yet. This
Yeah,
is
they
a
don't
pretty
know
new.
it yet.
It's in a
Otherwise,
beta
they'll ban
phase.
it because
They'll ban it,
I can actually use this to talk to Rushan without a VPN, like, and it's free. It's absolutely free, and
No,
the
lot more guys. I was seeing the
Hush,
other day. I
dude,
was
hush.
reading podcast. This guy Nas Daily was running a room, and he was inviting young billionaires to talk about.
yeah,
Uh, the most exciting thing was, you could be part of a conversation among intellectuals,
yeah,
and
something being hosted by Elon Musk or
something you want to
maybe,
add to. I think it's only for Apple right now, but I know there are users who are also using it on Android. So Priyam, I don't have invites anymore, but maybe Avi might have. So
I
he'll
will
have
send
send
you
you one
one. Priyam, I will send you
phone
one
number and try
separately.
to find that way to
Yes.
download and
I'll be
install
happy
it on
to
Android.
take a look at it. Yeah, definitely.
So I was in a room the other day, and I was just listening, and there were these guys, Ranveer Shore, Kunal Kamra, and these guys were also discussing about this freedom of expression. And they were more like, obviously, the background of some of these guys, so it was more
Yeah.
of, on the opposite end. Anyways, how do you guys feel about renaming of this stadium in Ahmedabad, the Sardar Patel Stadium, to
Well,
Narendra Modi Stadium?
I have a lot of, I mean,
Bad move.
I don't want to say things in a very offensive way, but I'll just put it out like this. If they start naming every stadium you built, if you start naming after yourself, I think, because again, the biggest, probably, the lol moment is, a player like Sachin Tendulkar or a Virender Sehwag or a Rahul Dravid, they don't have a stadium named after themselves. And what a disgrace when you actually, you know Virender Sehwag from Delhi just has a stand, and Arun Jaitley has a name, associated with the stadium. Firoz Shah Kotla is not Kotla anymore; it is Arun Jaitley Cricket Stadium. Yes, I mean, he would have been a fantastic politician in his time. I mean, the late Arun Jaitley, but then again, he was a cricket administrator as well, and he was good or bad. Again, you have to go and read the reports.
But
But
but but I would say that I think the first time, I don't know about every other country, but I
yeah,
guess
but
in Indian
I
history,
am
to
personally
to
not
name
a fan of
something.
people naming the stadium after themselves, and when you're
No,
the
but,
leader
but I
of
mean, it's still
yourself.
okay. People can do it, but something, when the prime minister is already in term, it's happening
Yeah, I
when he's
mean,
already in term. It's, a lot of things change when it's, when he's not there. It's kind of like a tribute, but it's little
because I've seen jokes where people have been saying,
strange.
oh, we have had so many Rajiv Gandhi and Nehru Stadium. Why can't we have a Modi
Yeah.
Stadium? Well, that's a good joke. I mean, I'm not saying you have the Nehru and Rajiv Gandhi Stadium either. I'm saying, come on, you name it after a cricketer, mate. Like, he played for the country. Like, come on. I think you can name. I mean, Kapil Dev. You have 20 cricketers at least deserve something. All they get is a stand name, and that's it. And
But it's a great
It's sad,
stadium,
yeah.
man.
it's a
It's
great stadium. Everything
The
is good.
outright hypocrisy. Yeah, but the outright hypocrisy of this whole debacle is the whole thing is very sad to see,
Yeah.
because this I'll tell you guys, because a few years ago, 10 15 years ago, this particular group of people, group of politicians, they were like, oh, why is everything named after Gandhi or Nehru or you know this and that, and they were going on and renaming everything in
Yeah.
Maharashtra. If you're in Maharashtra, then everything is now after Shivaji. Or
Yes.
so why? And in Gujarat, everything became Sardar Patel, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
until then, it was fine. Until then, it was fine. But now they are going and naming after their own politicians. So
So I
hypocrisy,
don't
guys.
know.
I
I
mean,
mean,
come
this is
on.
something which again, this is where probably somebody sees this podcast and judges us that how dare they name the politicians. Yeah, again, we are not naming anyone, but tomorrow I go out and I build a
I
stadium
might
for
go to jail, guys. Yeah, tell my wife I love her.
I
I
make
mean,
a
it's
school for
for me. For me, I would say that I was just really surprised that it happened during his term. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened when after maybe he is not prime minister. So
yeah,
that's what
yeah,
commonly
yeah,
happens.
exactly, exactly.
As far as the topic goes on, the renaming of the stadium. I don't know whose decision it was. I don't know what works behind this. I think probably
It's probably got to
Home
do with
Minister.
pleasing somebody and displeasing somebody. And whenever you want to please someone and you think of a step, I think in India right now, the easiest thing to do is renaming places and renaming things, which I think we have become very good at right now, rather than, probably changing from within. You name Gurgaon as Gurugram, but it still is what it is. And you name Allahabad as Prayagraj, but does it change what it was? Faridabad is going to be Kishanganj. That's very good. Like, yeah, noble thought, but what else are you changing? Are you changing the mind thoughts, the thought process?
Ahmedabad is going to be Karnavati, I think, or I don't know what it
Well,
is.
that's a noble thought, but then again, what I'm saying is, I don't see the I don't see the change otherwise, like from the people. Yeah, name change. I'm all okay for name changes, but yeah, I mean, coming back to the discussion, I think, yeah, I mean, it's pretty. What do I say? I'm not getting the word. It's pretty, weird of making the world's largest stadium and naming it after yourself. And it's something which, yeah, I
Cringe.
mean,
I think the word is
yeah,
cringe.
It was just strange news for me to. I mean, I did not expect that this would be happening. So it was just strange. But yeah,
I
whatever.
mean, no cricketer will any cricketer ever have a stadium, or will they have to build their own stadiums to get their names on it? I don't know, but I think, come on, Sachin Tendulkar, Kapil Dev, Rahul Dravid, don't they deserve a stadium with their name on it? But I guess this is I mean, a distant picture. I mean, I don't see this happening with the way it is going. But yeah, I mean, would have been nice if it was something else. If it was
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
else,
We need a
even
Sachin Tendulkar. We could have used the Sachin Tendulkar stadium, man.
yeah, I mean, okay, you're from Gujarat, from Gujarat, you have Vinu Mankad, you have the great, Ranji Trophy is named after the great player, I think, Ranji Maharaj, something like that.
Yeah.
I have forgotten. I mean, you can name a stadium after him. Come on, like
Yeah. Yeah. I
he's a modern day legend. You have,
Probably, I think the name before was already a heavy name, and they would, want it to be like what other name would replace such a name? And I think it's just a sign that times have changed now, and I think we have to
yeah,
just accept what it is. Um,
right. So, okay, guys,
Moving
enough
on.
of giving backgrounds, and I think we can come to the fun part of the podcast now. And I will actually pass the baton to Priyam to moderate, and this is going to be fun. And I think we have discussed a lot of things. I think I don't know how much we have discussed. 45 minutes. It was fun, and yeah, I now it's time for some fun, guys. And I think we are gonna do
I
something which
think
was
we should we
planned.
should also, I don't know if you can do, but maybe next time we could do some live streaming on your channel.
We can go live actually next time. Probably I don't know when you guys are free that we can discuss it offline. Let's just randomly go live and see what shit they do. I
Let's see
mean,
what kind of comments we get.
what
What
kind
what
of comments we
what
get.
is
But I guess
expected.
I guess we are still not. I mean, the channel is still not that big to go live, so we
Can you go
gotta.
live now, or yeah, you can, right? Any channel can. You don't need to have any
I
certain
can go
number.
live, but I mean, I would like to. I would like to have some more people watching us, and I think Rushan, you'll have to probably post this on your Facebook page when I release the video. I mean, that is the only way right now to get people on our channel and start watching. नहीं तो ये कोई नहीं
Sure,
देख
man.
रहा है.
Of
We'll
course.
we'll have like four people, including three of our wives.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It
a default
always
line.
begins, with small numbers. So
Yeah,
don't worry.
Yeah, Priyam, you have to ask your wife to subscribe also if she hasn't.
No, she has, definitely, yeah.
Ah, okay.
That's the
Okay,
first thing I made her
Priyam.
do is like subscribe to Bing and Bong.
Okay, Priyam, I leave it to you. Let's start this, what we call the real nonsense podcast, and let's start the nonsense part of it.
I will take the baton from you now, अभी ऐसा कोई
Take
दे
in,
रहा है इस
yes.
वाले में से.
Given, given, given.
Okay, मेरे पास आ गया. Yes.
मेरे पास
चलो.
पहले से ही
तो
था.
guys, now what ऐसे अपने को क्या करना है? What I wanted to do today was play because we spoke a lot about social media, freedom of expression, etc., etc. You guys know very well. Everyone in the world knows very well. There is a whole. I mean, it's very hard these days to distinguish between what news is real and what news is fake. And because even in reality there are such bizarre events happening that it's a crazy time to live in, man. So because there's fire all around,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that's the
yeah.
reason I came up with this game. So what I want to do is I'm gonna give you guys a bunch of headlines, right?
Okay.
And then we can talk about it a little. We can try to justify it. You guys can, of course, give your own expert scientific explanations for each of these headlines, and then we can what you guys have to tell me if you think is fake or not. Okay, whether it is
Okay.
fake or not.
Okay.
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 So, and whoever has the least number, most accurate count will be the winner of today's podcast, and he won't get
Yes.
anything.
And
And
I think we have to keep our hands here, so make sure we are not searching on
Yeah.
Google.
yes.
Yeah, you guys should not, sir. I
You
normally
already know
search
all
on
the
Google.
you know already everything, like all the
Yeah, I have a bunch of headlines, but before I discuss that, now there is a real news that I wanted to discuss with you guys about that thing that happened in Slovakia. It was a very interesting news.
it was interesting news actually.
Have you
I
When you
heard?
shared to me, I saw it. My friend of
enlighten me,
mine
guys.
worked.
What's happened in Slovakia? I have
No, no, no.
either.
There was a bizarre news in some part of in a part of the city, in a very shady part of the city, I would say, where
Shady.
there was this store. There was this gas station, and then there's a store at the gas station right here. So in that store, there was a guy who was basically a burglar, right? Who went there to steal the to get the money from the store, and so he was already there, and he was, I think, threatening, and he had a knife or something, and he was trying to get the money, and a woman entered the store at the same time, and she saw the situation, and she tried to so she called the police, and she kept that thief busy by giving him a blowjob. So she kind of some
She was like,
I'm
she
not
was
even
like,
sure how the events took
oh,
place,
hello,
but
police.
she kind
Bizarre.
of yeah, seduced the guy, and then they were into oral
Ah.
sex, and then police actually came and arrested that guy. So kudos to
My
that
goodness.
lady. But yeah, she was a
My
Czech lady,
goodness.
So
Czech lady,
they
but
were in action. They were in action when police caught them.
My God.
they were in
That's some
probably, I'm not
that's some
sure.
news to hear, man. That's
Yeah,
No,
so
it's in the
that
news.
that
Yeah,
that
when police
really
came around, they were like still
that
full
was
on.
a bizarre news which blew our minds. And
yeah, it would like, I mean, oh goodness gracious. My God.
Imagine ऐसे तू
but
दुकान में
but
खड़ा
but,
है
but then
and
after
you
that,
see
there
stuff
was
like
this
this.
statement by the police, the head of police,
Gajab.
that what he mentioned, that in his 27 years of career, this is the first time he came across such a case where such thing happened. So yeah.
Correct. So,
but
ladies and
but the
gentlemen,
more the
public
moral
service
of the
happen
story
in
is,
all forms.
the moral of the story is, don't get sex in your business.
Yeah,
The
don't
beautiful
pleasure
thing.
and don't mix pleasure and business is no
Don't
no.
have it anywhere. Don't just have it anywhere you want to. You know. Oh
ऐसा
yeah, that's
तुम
that's
धनिया लेने गए और कुछ और दे के आ गए ऐसा you cannot do.
that's some news, man. That's some news.
उसमें ऐसे, someone should write the comment like, क्या गुंडा बनेगा रे तू? ए, देखता
Crazy
भाई,
man.
दरवाजा तो खुला ही है, क्या गुंडा बनेगा रे? We should also do ऐसा है ना, मतलब ऐसे मूवी रिएक्शंस कभी कभी पुराना वापस. पर ठीक है, lot of prospects, man.
Yeah. It's all yeah.
Yeah.
Chalo,
Police,
Priyam.
police. The funniest part was that police entered and they were and those two people were in the ongoing position. तो पुलिस भी ऐसे 2 मिनट के सोच रही है इधर रॉबरी के लिए फोन किया था व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन
पुलिस सोच
तो
रही है
ऐसे
फिर से
मतलब
चूतिया
they
बनाया
must
हम
also
लोग को.
have thought like कि oh मैडम थोड़ा shall we come after 2 minutes and मैडम is like नहीं नहीं पकड़ के रखा है come
I
yeah
can only imagine.
I know, man, crazy. So, plenty of crazy things going on in the world. Now, I mean, that brings us to our first headline. Uh, and I mean, as you guys have been working from home for a while now, right? All three of us actually.
I have been going to
And
the office, but
now,
yeah, I will consider it. I will consider this option also. Yeah, like okay,
well, it's
let's
a pain,
Going to
right?
office
Yeah, it's
means
a
like
going
he's
to the office
stepping out of
is
his
such a pain.
house. He takes a
I know, man.
elevator. He goes up to his office, and that's it.
So, but not everyone is as complacent as we are. If our bosses call us to office, we'll just quietly go. But there is a very creative man in Arizona, and what he did was he faked his own kidnapping to get out of work.
oh,
So, fake
He
or
made
real,
what?
guys?
What
this
did he
could be
do?
real, man. Like I've
He
seen.
faked his own kidnapping to get out of work.
I mean, this could be real, man, because I've seen people, having all those weird thoughts of imagination where, I mean, I have seen, I don't know if they're true, like I've seen memes and jokes throughout, post pandemic, where all such things I've read. I mean, it could be true. I mean, people have, what sort of things have come up? Like, I think getting yourself kidnapped, I think is probably, it's not so difficult, but I think it's real, man. It's possible. It's possible. Yeah.
Okay, so how he thinks it's real, yeah. What about you, Roshan? This guy in Arizona, he's he's like, sir, आज छुट्टी डालना पड़ेगा because I'm kidnapped and all. What do you think it
But
is
no,
real or
no,
not?
I'm just thinking like, okay, chalo, he got kidnapped, but he still called the office to say that he's kidnapped.
That is a good
Like,
question.
that.
Good
I
critical thinking,
mean,
Roshan.
if you're kidnapped, you would probably call police. No, why would you call your manager? Like,
But yeah, I mean, I'm saying even if it is fake, I mean, see, there are dumb people around. No, there are people such dumb that who actually can do that. Who have actually probably. I think
Probably.
there
you
are
know,
dumbnesses.
it could be
There are
like uske
dumbnesses.
I
dost
love
or
how
the
much faith
colleague,
you have on
the
humanity,
colleague
Avi.
might have, the colleague might have informed like, "Arey, this guy cannot come in because he was kidnapped and now his family is searching for him and all that." So it's
That
something
could
that
happen.
can be definitely done because people have done this. A lot of kids have done this, fake their kidnapping. So it's a possibility, but I would say that it didn't happen. But I don't know. Yeah,
So you're going with fake, right?
yeah.
Okay. So time for a big reveal, guys. And the news is actually real.
So basically, this is after when he was caught that he didn't kidnap himself.
No, no, he called the police. He didn't call his boss. He called the police. And
Oh, he
so
called the
the
police. Okay,
19,
well,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
This
Okay.
19-year-old fellow is called Brandon Souls. And you can Google the news.
But I think
He staged a kidnapping.
I
And he's
think
in police custody, by the way. So,
I think such dumbness is there. I mean, it's around there. I mean, I've seen such, I've heard such jokes, but yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised this is real because I perfectly think a human mind is capable of, creating such stories. But yet
But
again,
but
acting dumb.
so how for how long was he with the police?
hold on. I haven't read the whole article, dude.
So basically,
No, I think
he
he's
probably
arrested now. So,
he's arrested now.
Oh,
He didn't plan.
he's still under
because
arrest, yeah.
police
He's
found
still
him
in
and he's
jail,
like,
so he's
"Arey,
like
itna bada jhoot."
नहीं मतलब his plan backfired ना मतलब basically.
Major way. So he was then interrogated. He was questioned by the police, and then in first he claimed that two masked men actually kidnapped him, and but later because police tend to do a very thorough questioning, so he finally confessed that he was just faking his whole kidnapping. It was all staged. So yeah, it didn't work out. But काम से छुट्टी मिल गया. Now he's in jail.
Yeah, I mean, हो सकता है भाई ये कोई कमी नहीं
So
है ऐसी उसकी.
partially successful, but to our viewers, please think your story is
Definitely,
through.
definitely possible to have, but
Yeah, I
I
mean,
was
but
just wondering like how it went across. But obviously, he called the police, and so it really went down that road. So yeah,
he probably didn't think it through. I mean that how far could it go? Yeah, I mean it's a 19-year-old. That's as much he could probably imagine
man.
he would do. But
I think
yeah,
19-year-olds are not supposed to work in corporates already, or I mean, because you can expect these things. That's true.
Yeah, because these things happen.
I mean,
But
I
it's
wouldn't say
I
in a
wouldn't know. I
similar
don't know
way,
if I
but
would have done the same. I don't know. Probably a 19-year-old. Probably even I was a head back then. So it's not like I would have done any differently. Yeah, probably this is a very bigger plan for me, but I would have done something similarly stupid. But I mean, I personally
like for example, at my work, there's this guy during our training times, and he's also 20 something, 2021, and he went on a sick leave on a Friday, and he didn't come, and then later on he uploaded Insta stories. So our manager saw it.
that is
I've
not
seen,
wise.
I've heard this story before. I've seen,
Exactly.
yeah,
So, so this is something common with for 1920, these young guys. I mean, it's they are the guys who would upload stories on Instagram,
yeah,
even,
yeah.
Yeah.
with drink and all on a Friday evening. Obviously, you were sick.
But I'm very obsessed with these things. If I choose to make up a story, I mean, because and I think Avi, partially you're responsible for this, okay? Because you've been showing us all those very nice movies from a very young age, and now I'm like, story should line up. वो picture में देखा था like that. It's I mean, it
उससे
it
उससे
comes
मेरे
from
को याद
around you,
आया.
you know.
इससे मेरे को
Yeah, we
याद
used
आया,
to
I
watch a lot of
recently.
movies, no? I mean, for the quality,
So
for the
many
time
films,
we were in,
man.
I think we have seen movies which I am seeing people watching now at the age of 30, like for the first time, and I'm like, ये तो हमने
Yeah.
17 में 16 में देखी थी. Like we saw it when we were like 16. I don't know,
Good
yeah.
quality movies, man.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I recently saw this movie, Drishyam 2, the Mallu original.
Oh,
Uh,
wow. How is it?
Yeah, it's on Amazon, right? I'm trying to.
it's on
It's so
Amazon.
damn
I
long.
wouldn't say,
I don't know when do I
it's,
watch.
it's really. I mean, I'm not gonna, because you know how these suspense movies are, so I'm not gonna say anything to ruin your experience. But we can talk later.
I just saw the length of the movie and it's like 160 minutes or something, and I'm like, how do I fucking watch this? I mean, I'm not getting that much patience to,
You know,
sit through. I don't want to.
compared to the original Drishyam, obviously, you can never make the same, you know.
I've seen only one
Yes.
Drishyam, and that's Ajay Devgan's Drishyam, and I was pretty okay with it. Like, अच्छा
It
बना
was,
है.
yeah,
But
I liked
actually,
it.
first it was Mallu, उसके बाद वो तमिल में बना, it was
I
also
think they
super
made in
hit, and then
every.
Bollywood again super hit. So
There is a Korean adaptation as well for this, and
Wow.
yeah. There is
I
a
think
Korean.
Drishyam original जो
कोरिया में भी
storyline है,
प्रीतम
जो
बैठा
concept है,
है.
I think it was really good. मतलब वो film overall,
And
I think it has
Mohanlal
a.
in the poster looks good. I mean, I don't know. Like I saw when it came out. Like when I saw the Ajay Devgan version, I was like, "Acha hai, wow!" Like that was a
Yeah,
time
yeah. It was good. Impressive.
I think Ajay Devgan
Bollywood was
कर
releasing.
सकता है, वो कर पाया, मतलब I think वो part 2 भी बनाएंगे वो लोग,
यही
गोवा
बनाएंगे
में.
भाई, इसी को
हाँ,
उठा के चिप डालेंगे. बट
मतलब वो.
I saw Drishyam in a year when they were making films like Prem Ratan Dhan Payo, Welcome Back,
हाँ,
back in
exactly.
2015.
Oh my God.
And I was in Bombay and I was having it was a busy schedule at work. So I used to go watch these movies on Saturdays in our city mall in Vikhroli, and I used to live in Vikhroli
But
near.
I wanted to, like, out of curiosity, what happened to your patience level, man? We saw Savaria in theater. This is only 160
Oh, bro,
minutes now.
like what did we
I think a lot of Netflix and Amazon, when you're 120
Savaria, we
or
went, right? We went
40 minutes,
Savaria.
80
I don't know
minutes.
why.
Yeah, Savaria, we went first to first show.
I don't know why. I think I wanted to, like, because everyone was going for, I think that year Om Shanti Om had come out. And I remember I had
Yeah.
booked tickets. I had booked tickets of Om Shanti Om with my mom dad because I just wanted to go, and yeah, I just wanted to be the kid who saw the movie first. And then I was talking to Rushan. I was some October time, Diwali time. It was a holiday, and we booked it.
Holidays.
Yeah, I mean, it turned out to be. Now it's a very forgettable film, but then again, yeah, uh, it's so much money for nothing. It's a movie. I would call it that, like, so much for nothing. That's what I'll call it. Like a
Well, I
very
mean,
beautiful looking shit. It's a very beautifully looking shit.
during that time, we watched it, and I think it was a good musical experience for me, I
This is
would
the
say.
amount of movies I've seen. I think even you
Yes.
guys also with Rushan and with you guys. I mean, the amount of movies out of that, the amount of shit also we have seen, and we have laughed at it. I think me and Rushan, I remember we went and we saw Tashan in theater, man. Like I think we were one of the rarest people on the
Oh
planet
my
to
God.
watch that movie in a theater. And my God, and there was a small kid who was, I remember distinctively, like there was a small kid who was jumping when that song came, Tashan Me, and the kid was like, and me and Rusha are like, what the fuck? Like, ये हम कुछ अलग देख रहे हैं. And this was probably in my, when I used to come back from Manipal for the holidays. This was
I think around that time, yeah, around that
2009,
time.
10, that time when, we were just trying to grow, trying to grow. So that was a different time. And
Watching movies in Jamnagar was a whole crazy. Yeah.
Because Cinemax, New Cinemax, our personal experience of going to
Cinemex,
Cinemax
bro.
together
New
Cinemex.
was
Cinemex,
New.
and then came the age of DVDs, and I think yeah, I had a lot of them.
And
I
then for
think
DVDs, you would go behind this Limra lane or somewhere.
yeah. Buy for $10,
And
20
we would
bucks.
buy genuine, huh, guys? On record, we don't buy piracy. Buy genuine,
Buy
Shady
genuine.
Gully in Limra Lane.
Who buys, bro?
My
Who
God.
buys movies now? Just
Yeah.
just
So,
yeah.
But I don't know
anyways,
how many
guys,
am I supposed to
so
subscribe. Like I don't know how many am I supposed to subscribe because Netflix is clearly going. I don't know, going the garbage way. But I don't know, man. Like how many am I supposed to subscribe? Like
So I personally have Amazon Prime and Netflix, and these are the only two.
यही
But
दो है
I
भाई.
will definitely go with HBO Max if it is,
HBO Max. Yeah, you work for AT&T,
Hotstar if
right?
you're into superhero shit.
Which one?
Disney Hotstar if you're into superhero shit.
Yeah, दुबई
I
में
want
नहीं
to watch The
आती.
Mandalorian. That's why I have.
Hotstar.
Hotstar.
क्योंकि I
So,
cannot
guys,
subscribe
anyways,
from here. I think
I
that's the
mean,
problem.
we all need a centralized OTT platform. But I think
There is
before
something called,
we,
I don't know if you guys can, there is something, even it's expensive, it's called IP box. It's there in Dubai,
acha,
where everything on earth, but it's pretty expensive. It's 1,000 dirhams a month. So it's like this, you
I
know.
don't want.
So I told my wife, and she was like,
So
why?
I'm fine with paying €5 for
The look that your wife must have
Netflix.
given you, man.
So we thought about, I thought, not we, I thought like, let's go get the IP box. And she was like, how much Netflix do you watch in a week? And I'm like, I don't know. So why do you want the IP box? You have so much time. I'm like, okay, let's go ahead.
But let's go ahead, guys. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let me
Yeah,
moderate
Priyam.
you guys.
I think this podcast is gonna become a 3 hour Mohanlal
Yeah,
movie. That's what the length is going to be.
it's
So
gonna
yeah,
be 180 minutes, guys. So
let's go ahead.
let's do this. And so the scores we're now at Avi 1 and Rushan 0. And because Avi
Ah,
has shown us
okay.
such faith in humanity, my friend, such faith. Wow. And keeping a faith in humanity in mind, we have our next headline. Wanted man turns himself in, and he says that he's fed up of living with people.
He's fed up of living with people.
Yeah. And this guy
Oh,
is wanted, and he was like, police station he went, and
I'll tell you
he
what.
surrendered himself.
I'll tell you what. This could still
मेरे
be
को इधर से
true.
निकालो.
I think I'll tell you what. This could still be true because I mean, human mind is capable of anything, man.
I
Like
mean, obviously, these headlines,
nonsense.
these headlines are headlines because they could have happened. Um,
I mean, I think we are more than you think.
I
Human mind is
think
more than
there
you
have been
think.
incidents where people who were wanted have surrendered themselves. So, but the reasoning, it's something which is very.
But like, yeah. And in jail, you meet people, right? It's not like there's no people in jail. ऐसा तेरे को solitary में डालेगा. In jail, you'll meet people. So, like, what's up with that? And
But
bad
ऐसा
people.
कौन है ये है कौन है ये पागल अगर हुआ है तो आई थिंक बट हम लोग एज अ ह्यूमन आई थिंक वी आर कंप्लीटली केपेबल ऑफ दिस ये बहाना हम लोग बट आई डोंट नो मैन वो ये दिस रीजन could be true. I still think it could be true. I think it could be true.
Avi is still looks a bit undecided. But Rushan, what is your opinion? थोड़ा scientific explanation
Well,
you have.
so now since you're bringing all these headlines, where did this happen?
अरे I can't give you details ना. Otherwise, तो how will you know ना कि if it's real or not?
Well, first of all, I think obviously people exist, such people exist who would make such decisions. But if there is a guy who is wanted, I don't think he would surrender himself. I mean, looking from the guy's perspective, the reasoning does not make sense to me. So I would just go with false for false or fake. But yeah,
Okay.
could definitely be a possibility.
Hmm.
Rushan is going for false. Like, and but you think that it's not a good enough reason because people are crazy, man. Like they
I
will
mean,
इनको
if you're
ताना मार
wanted,
के
if
People
सुबह
are
जल्दी नहीं
crazy. Yeah,
उठना है.
yeah, yeah. I
exactly,
mean,
exactly. So that's what I
completely.
first said. Ki, obviously, there are these cuckoo guys who can, obviously do all these things. But I said practically, अगर चलो कि तू wanted है, तो तू मतलब तू वहाँ क्यों जा रहा है ना? तू कहीं go to Varanasi, grow some beard, and just become a Baba or someone. I don't know,
Good.
right? Why go to
Live like a
you're
hermit.
gonna get वहाँ पे you might you might drop the soap a couple of times, and you might be in trouble. So you don't want to be in jail and drop keep dropping the soaps.
That's true, man. You don't want to drop soaps in jail.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rushan is like fairly, I think he's fairly convinced that it's a fake thing.
I
So
mean,
what about you? I
I'm
think
going
you
with the
are somewhere
reasoning
the devil on your
that
shoulder is like, yeah, such was that.
let's just go with the false fake. I mean, obviously you've collected some good stuff, so time for big review.
So are we you also fake false? Sorry, I
No, no.
didn't
I
hear
think
you.
it
No,
is true. Bro.
he
We are
said
thinking
true, and
Avi,
I
you
said
think
fake.
Avi
Yeah,
thinks
yeah,
it's
yeah.
true. Wow. Okay, cool. So big reveal, guys. Drum roll. It's true.
अरे हम लोग ये सब करने को भाई
This
पूरा एज होते अब करने को. अरे ह्यूमन माइंड, अरे कुछ भी भाई, ऐसे है लोग भाई.
Ah,
अजीब लोगों की कमी नहीं है भाई, सच्ची में.
तो
यही तो
this
है.
guy थोड़ा बैकग्राउंड देने को ये ससेक्स में हुआ it happened in UK in Sussex and the police in and it happened very recently I think last week only last Wednesday this fellow came last to last Wednesday actually and this fellow came and he surrendered himself saying that he's fed up of people and society and that but police did not reveal the person's name so we don't know who it is, but it's definitely true.
गजब, गजब, गजब.
I mean, Priyam, the thing about these headlines is that it's definitely something that can happen for sure, and that's why these are these exciting headlines. So yeah.
Definitely. But still, I think the reasoning is very shady to me. There are people in jail also. Why are you going there with horrible people? Stay here with nice people now.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it might be true, but I'm gonna go with fake because just looking at the practical side.
I
Let's.
think Rushan is too pragmatic. And Avi, I like how
No,
Avi, you think,
but
na,
it's
you
it's
believe
good.
in
No, I
crazy.
mean, you need to have you need to have a game with two sides. So
Yeah, so now it's Avi 2 and Rushan unfortunately 0. And I hope you guys can't can't see in my specs what I'm
अरे
reading.
अरे अरे, इधर 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 कुछ नहीं दिख रहा, कुछ दबा भी नहीं रहा, स्पेक्स पे तो कुछ नहीं दिख रहा.
Yeah.
then he's
So I
he's
think
lying.
that brings us to the last headline of this game for us. And that is Prime Minister Narendra Modi is to deliver a historic speech from Antarctica in summer of 2021, which is
Wow.
expected to be attended by, hundreds of people. And
That's
I mean,
summer is like now, like soon,
मतलब ऐसे हाँ तो समर
like
अंटार्कटिका में ऐसे
like
अक्टूबर दिसंबर में
Bro,
होगा
this is obviously fake,
2021
bro. I
summer in
mean,
Antarctica will be
bro.
in
This
towards the
one
end
I
of the
think
year.
I'm with Rushan
it
because
cannot be true, Priyam. I mean, you see, you have two headlines which are obviously, very, and then you bring
this.
up this
I'll
Narendra.
tell you why this
Oh
cannot be true.
yeah.
I will tell you why. I will tell you why this cannot be true because I think I don't think he's the right person to give. a speech right now in Antarctica. Like I don't think we need.
Exactly.
I think people from Paris and whoever. I mean, I don't think we as a I don't I'm not talking about Mr. Modi, but I don't think we as a country deserve to have a chance to give a speech on climate change like right now. Like
So
until
I don't know what is the source, but
क्या पता भाई सच भी हो
according to
सकता है, but I
the
don't know
kind of
man. I don't think so. No, I
according to
don't think
news
Mr.
content
Modi
I
has
I agree
consume,
with
I
you.
has been.
would.
But guys, think about it this way, right? 2020. I mean, we know how fond our honorable prime minister is of traveling, and of course for diplomatic reasons. But it has been. I mean, 2020 has been a bit rough for him, and he's like, "अरे
Yeah,
रहने
I mean
देते, कुछ और है."
he could
Okay.
go. I mean, yeah,
Okay,
he could
Priyam,
go
just stop.
all
You
the way
know
to Antarctica.
what I'm saying is that the reason why this is fake is because anything related to Narendra Modi and you make a headline, I would already know it, man. We would already know it. I mean,
Oh,
this is
Yeah,
not a
yeah,
news that you would have to wait for. That's what I'm saying. You came
yeah,
up with two news which is like you don't even have a name. It's a
very
third person,
vague,
and
but
then you come up with this. So
yeah, yeah. With Narendra Modi, I think.
I
I mean
mean,
anything is a
exactly.
news. So
it would be on Twitter and all. See,
the
this is
fact
why I
that
should be
only
on social media.
the fact that only you know this and we don't know, I think it's
It's kind of little creepy. I mean, if this is just if this would just be a key, it might happen. Then anything might happen. You know, anything might he might do this. But if he's going to do it, and if it's certain, then I feel like I would probably know it because you're talking about a certain personality who is already everywhere in news. So
Correct.
that's
So I
my
think I
reason to
came
go
for
with fake again.
I think we both are fake on this.
you both are fake, and I mean that was my giveaway, guys. So it's fake, and you both are right.
मैं जीत गया.
We जीत गया very clearly, but
मेरे
Rukshan,
हाथ
very
गायब
good
हो गए
catch, man.
इधर, ये देखो, ये हाथ गायब आए, फिर आ
नहीं
गए.
मतलब आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग कि थोड़ा ऐसा उस लाइंस में और आएंगे हेडलाइंस बट ठीक है यार ये वाला बहुत ऑब्वियस था.
अरे ये इनविजिबल, ये
Correct.
बढ़िया है फिल्टर यार.
बैकग्राउंड.
एक और है तुम लोग को चाहिए तो मतलब ऐसे आई डोंट नो,
ला एक एक
मतलब ऐसे
आखिरी
बनाया
ट्राई
था.
करते हैं हम लोग.
Or we can, I mean, I think we can move on to next section. So our game is over. Clearly, we has won,
I think in
showing
future,
better judgment.
as we are having this discussion also, and yeah, I think in future we could actually, yeah, I'm very, I'm not a big sucker for reaction videos, but we don't have to go and react on trailers. I think we can react on news. We can react on news written,
Yeah,
you know, same news written by NDTV and Republic, and you will see how much contrastic views you find, when a Times Now and a NDTV writes something, and when the same piece is written by Republic. Let's do something like that next time, because I think very
yeah,
amazing political times are coming this year with a lot of elections in different states, and I think everybody wants a piece of it. And I'm sure the people from Republic and a certain individual will have an eye on everything, and I think this is something we could do. But yeah, I mean, I'm up for this kind of a game also. Agli bar isko aur, it's fun. And I think fake news or real news में ऐसा है ना, actually nowadays real news is such that वो तुम्हें fake लगे, and it's not actually fake. And I'm surprised, when I said those the first two were right. I mean, I was thinking कि शायद नहीं भी हो सकता है, but I'm surprised people are actually capable of all that,
exactly.
and
We live
Yeah.
in a bizarre world, man. The only thing is that, this shit used to happen, but it wasn't publicized as well as it is publicized now. That's the only difference. But yeah.
Well, I
okay,
mean,
guys, let's move on to our final section of our real nonsense podcast, and probably this will be the biggest nonsense of the day. And we are gonna do a reaction video, guys. We're gonna do a jabby
Yay!
quiz. We're gonna do a
For the
jabby quiz.
first time.
We're gonna do a Jabi Koe, but yeah, no, we are not gonna react on a
Who's
trailer.
Jabi Koe?
He's somebody, bro. He's just somebody, and yeah, we're gonna do a reaction video, and we're not gonna react on trailer, obviously. And there is something Rushan has, which we have a link which has been shared to us, and I've not seen it. I've not seen it, and I think both of you guys have not seen it. So let's just go ahead and let's see what the fuck is this about. And yeah, yeah, let the camera capture our first reactions.
I've seen it. Full disclosure.
Oh,
But I wanna see you guys' I really like that video
You've seen it,
and
Priyam?
people who, yeah, the people who made it.
Acha, you had to
Just mad
you
at
had to
me. Like
pehle,
you've seen
look
it,
at
bro.
the whole thing to make sure that it's reaction worthy.
yeah.
But it's for you guys.
Chalo, chalo, let's see what is this.
Visit West Papua, Indonesia's favourite copper mine. I mean colony. I mean territory. Home to idyllic island, virgin rainforest, indigenous folks, the mighty fuck. But most importantly, copper and gold mine in the world. Which is why here at the Australian government, we've done everything we can to help our mates beat the living fuck out of those indigenous folks, so that our other mates can come in and start making the chin chin. Because if anyone knows how to
Fuck.
colonize an island, mine the shit out of it and leave the natives with breadcrumbs, it's us, West Papua, a Dutch colony until 1961 when Papuans raised the Morning Star flag, only to be colonized the following year by
What the fuck is
the
this?
world was outraged. Nah, just kidding. Zero fucks were given, and the UN rubber stamped the act of free choice, a sham election in which a bunch of handpicked Papuans with guns pointed at their heads voted to become part of Indonesia. Australia was there to help too. Remember when two Papuans tried to flee to the UN to expose this bullshit? We prevented them from ever getting there by detaining them on Manus Island, where we still betray refugees to this day. Australia is proud to continue its fine tradition of complicity in West Papua. Here we are chilling with the guy who said the hitmen who assassinated the Papuans' leader are heroes. Although we helped train and arm those heroes, so we deserve some credit too. Meanwhile, Papuans are enjoying the benefits of
Who the fuck is this, bro?
like being the poorest people in the country, despite living on one of the most resource-rich lands on Earth. Not to mention decades of murder, rape, disappearances, torched villages, which thankfully you never hear about.
I mean, she's very blunt.
Are banned from West Papua, where nothing says unity and diversity like throwing Papuans in jail for raising their own flag, or like pushing them off their lands to make room for plantations, annihilating their rainforests, and contaminating their lands with this giant tumour, which is serviced by massive shipments from Cairns. Cairns, the Aussie town supplying West Papua's Death Star with all its operational needs. It's all part of our Tufu policy. We ask all Aussies to embrace Tufu, because even though Indonesia is our largest recipient of foreign aid, and even though we spend millions of your tax dollars training their soldiers and dining their war criminals, at the end of the day, we're Indonesia's bitch, which is why we have to apologise to them every time someone here mentions West Papua. Visit West Papua, the country you never even knew we were helping.
Fuck, fuck.
Authorised by the department for never mentioning.
Okay.
This was
It's the
what
juice
was this?
media.
This was a tourism video. What
I
is
think
this?
this was really sad video.
Really
about-
sad, and
It
you
was
know,
funny satire, yeah.
I don't know how. I mean, satire was fine, but
This
the
was
amount-
this was more like, honestly for me it was more like informative that there is something
Informative,
going
but
on
being-
in that part of geography.
like, I mean, probably yeah, they are being at most honest as it could be. Like, yeah, I mean, probably whatever they said is all true, but yeah, it's a satire, but yeah, I love the way.
Maybe because we don't have a context to it, maybe there is a real government ad and then they made such a version. So
But yeah, I mean, looking this
No,
like you think
so what
Indonesia
these
is
guys do
class.
is, yeah,
Like if you see the video, that's
what these
what
guys do is they make these videos. They have
they
other
make-
videos also just like this, and Australia is not the only government. They have list in the video. There are plenty of governments, and they are not leaving
do we
anyone.
have
Very
India?
savage, but at the same time very funny.
Do we
Yeah, we
have
have India. I think so.
I think we are gonna probably do India
think
also
so.
one day.
Yeah, I mean, but this was It
This
was
was like,
it
how
was
you
kind of, for
just
me, it was new information.
pulled
And
down the whole Indonesian nation. I think this was that. But it was, yeah, it was
But yeah,
satire.
always guys fact check before believing.
Yeah, no, no, no.
Before
I'm not
believing.
saying I'm believing anything. I'm just, yeah, we will fact check. But the way it was presented, yeah, the way, I mean, it certainly is not showing the country in a good light. And it was funny in parts. But I don't know, probably if I see something about India, because, we're from there and we know the country so well, probably it will be,
Uh,
but yeah, I mean, it's a good thing. I think we could watch more videos of
you know,
this.
since we are doing this, I would like to also present a thing that we can see. I'm sure probably you guys have seen it, probably not, but I think this is something that we can also keep doing to.
Yes.
Is someone playing something?
No, no.
I hear Reddit eruption sort of somehow.
Where is that sound coming from? Oh, okay, here. Okay, sorry. So yeah, I'm just playing that video, and just give me one sec.
And guys who are watching in the audience, if there is any, I hope you guys are watching something. I hope you guys are watching the show. Yeah, please press the subscribe button और like भी डाल दो नहीं like भी डाल दो और comment भी कर दो and I hope you guys visit because this is something which it's not gonna happen next week. I cannot promise. It's not gonna happen next month. We cannot promise. It's gonna happen during the course of the year. Probably it will be more of a regular fixture where me, Rushan, and Priyam show up. I don't think we're gonna have this podcast without the other two. So guys, please और भी बाकी चीजें आती है चैनल पे देखो, subscribe करो, you know. Meanwhile, has
Hopefully
Rushan from
before hopefully before Modi ji goes to Antarctica, we'll have
we'll have one, fact check video,
So you know what we can do. I mean, I was thinking like, I'm not sure how much you guys have watched these videos from Key and Peele,
I have
but
seen I have seen quite a lot. Which
uh,
one? I mean, I have seen a lot. I have seen a lot. We can do one reaction probably.
Priyam, have you seen every video of them, or how?
So I was actually saving a few for while when I get back to Mumbai for for reasons. But yeah, I'm happy to see one now if you have any recent videos. But I've seen older videos. Yeah.
Well, obviously they are not making anything recently now, but if you have seen it, then I think that's not an untapped territory, I would say, because I was already sharing with you guys also before. So
Yeah.
if you guys have seen it, then we don't want to go into.
Probably we can अगले podcast में we can come back with a planned reaction video for videos which we have not seen. और ये वैसे भी ये वीडियो इतना अभी लंबा होता जा रहा है, इसको हम लोग पॉडकास्ट को इधर इधर ऑडियंस को बाय बाय बोलते हैं और अलग से थोड़ा बात करके इसको रोकते हैं. आई थिंक इट वाज अ गुड सेशन. व्हाट डू यू थिंक? इधर अभी तो स्टॉप करेगा थोड़ी देर में.
Very rich actually.
I think we should be done now because
हाँ तो या
I will
गाइस
also have some
हम
food.
लोग ऐसे ही बाय बाय बोलेंगे और वी विल जस्ट से बाय बाय लाइक दिस एंड वी विल लॉग आउट बिकॉज आई थिंक एपिसोड 1.5 घंटे का है. आई होप एंड आई
Hey,
डोंट थिंक
you will have to, I think.
yeah, I won't edit much. I will probably I am going other way anyways. ये edit में आएगा, हम लोग देखेंगे. Guys, I hope the audience loves it. Thank you, Rushan. Thank you, Priyam, for being a part of this. And we will be back soon. Soon could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. That's how long it took us to get back. But this is our first podcast of 2021 from the Real Nonsense team. And you guys are watching the Real Nonsense podcast. And this is Bing and Bong. Cheers. Stop karo.